Hey friends, it's Mckenzie, also known as Emtothethird on Instagram, Ravelry, and now YouTube, and I'm taking you with me on a little camping trip. And I'm here with my co-pilot, Maple. And we're stopped a couple hours away, just taking her on a walk so that she's not too antsy during the ride, and yeah, I'm going to take you along for the journey.
Baby, oh baby, what do we have here? Someone is trying to disappear from the eye of production, from the eye of strife. Baby, oh baby, what do we have here? Someone is trying to live with no care, but we know they will too soon disappear. Baby, oh baby, what do we do next? You're laughing, you're crying and asking what's best, but we don't have an answer. No, we have no clue. Baby, oh baby, what do we do next? Your heart is beating right through your chest. I can feel it, darling, I hear it.
I hope you enjoyed that little sneak peek into my camping trip from last weekend. I had a lot of fun. I spent one night just me and the dog, which was so lovely. Sometimes I forget how nice it feels to just not have, literally not have to do anything. I brought my knitting, I brought my book, and I did do a little bit of reading and knitting, but honestly I just kind of sat for a good amount of time by myself. It's just quiet, I don't have to interact with anyone. It's so important to do that. It felt really good and rejuvenating. And then I was blessed with my friend Max coming, and we were only together for 24 hours, but we were able to go swimming a little bit, eat some good food, and just catch up. And it's just such a nice beginning of summer trip. The weather was perfect. Yeah, I really can't say enough good things. But so I live in Boston, and Max lives in Rochester, and we both met in the Bay Area. And you'd think we'd be able to see each other more frequently, but apparently not. So we decided to do this little camping trip, and because I was driving out, it's about a 2.5 hour drive for me and a 4-hour drive for Max, which I don't think either of us realized that it was a little a little off, and Max was only going for 24 hours, but c'est la vie. And so as I was driving, I had the dog with me, and so you saw in that little clip we stopped at a park so I could kind of get her willies out. Oh no. If you hear children screaming in any of my other videos, it's because I live right next to a playground, and so there are some kids out there right now. I hope it's not too distracting, but the windows have to be open because otherwise it's like an oven in here. What was I saying? So we stopped at a park, and then we drove, and in Western Massachusetts is just beautiful. It's just it's just gorgeous. And I know of Northampton, which is where Smith is, because it has a huge yarn store that you have probably heard of before called Webb's. And I had never been there before, but I had they were at Stitches West years ago, and I know of them and I bought yarn from them, but I just had never been in person. And here's a little bit of footage from inside. People say it's really big. I was a little like underwhelmed because I think people just like hype it up so much, but the warehouse section in the back was like a lot. I didn't want to get much. Like I don't need anything, which is always the case going into yarn stores. But I did tease that I did find something. And I've been wanting to make this really pretty like simple shawl, like triangle shawl from Pia, who does the Camabornia podcast. Is that what it's called? I don't know. I don't really want, like, I didn't even know that, like, I'd seen the pattern before and I didn't realize she had a podcast, and then I learned that she has a podcast. But so it's this like shawl that has these little doot-doot-doots on it, baubles on it, and I just wanted it really simple. My favorite color of yarn, which is like natural gray brown undyed, and so I found this stuff, the BC Garn Bio Shetland, whatever, you can see it. Can you? I am like literally never do this right. Yeah, this stuff. So they were just $10 a skein. It is 100 grams. Oh no, 50 grams. And this should be enough for the shawl. I got 4 of them. But yeah, that color is like super, super nice. Oh yeah, look at that. That's like honestly my favorite color of yarn ever. And it's like a sport weight. It says it's organic, which is cool. And it just says 100% wool. So I got that, and then they were like doing this little Plinko game for like a little prize, so I got a little yarn, or what is it called, needle gauge. Cute. Maple was very unimpressed by the sound of the Plinko tile and was just like, what is this? It's just one of, you know, he dropped a little coin in. So while I was actually camping, I didn't get much done in the way of knitting, which I totally fine with me. I was so relaxed. It was great. The one thing is that Maple really gets freaked out by, she's like looking at me as I say her name. Maple really gets freaked out by fire, like the sound of the crackling wood and the smell of smoke. And it's like, we have a fireplace here that I'm sitting in front of, and I love having a fire going, but she just like totally freaks out. So I brought like those Duraflame logs, which like I would prefer not to, but they don't make as much noise. So I brought one of those and I lit it up, and she just like totally freaked out like she normally does. But I've been really trying to give her positive associations with it, so I just like sat and like fed her slices of deli meat for like half an hour until she was like, nope, I'm too freaked out. And then I held her for like another half an hour, and then we like went into the tent and watched, and I just kept an eye on the fire from there, which again, like totally fine. It's just a little like I'm just working with her on it, and hopefully we can get past it together. But I mean, knitting by the fire, like what could be better? So it's a little bit of a bummer that she's not into it, but honestly, she's great otherwise. She sleeps in the tent, she cuddles with me when she gets cold, it's awesome. So that's really the biggest thing. But so I didn't, like I said, get to like knit around the fire, which is a great part of camping. But we hung out, and so again, what was I trying to say? Also, if you notice, my hands are a little purple because of my hair. I re-dyed my hair for Pride this weekend. I like the color. Like I look a little pale in comparison, but I don't know. So I didn't get much knitting done while camping, but I got back and I did finish my socks. So I have my pair. I did the fish lips heel. Yeah, they look good. They're cute. This is again Republic of Wool in Misfit colorway. And I'm trying to memorize the fish lips heel because I just want to be able to like do it and knock it out, and I think I got it, and it actually looks better on the second one than the first one. I just like doubted myself about one little piece on the first one, and then I immediately cast on my next pair of socks, because if you remember, one of my goals for the summer is to catch up on my sock knitting. We're in June, so I should have 6 done, but I'm just casting on pair number 5, which like I'm not too far behind. I think I'll catch up. So I actually decided to, because I want to try the fish lips heel from toe up socks. So I am knitting them 2 at a time, toe up, why not? And I am using this from Retrosaria. So it is, look at how cute this label is. Can you just, with me for a second? Look how cute that is. Yeah, Retrosaria. Yeah, isn't that cute? They're just colored numbers, so it's 205. Yeah, their little logo is like adorable. So it's a non-superwash sock yarn. I got 4 skeins of these for my birthday a few years ago, and I was like, oh, I know exactly what I'm going to do with them, and I cast one on, and it just wasn't exactly what I wanted for that project. I don't even remember what that project was. But it's a non-superwash wool, and I was like, oh, perfect, it's in this little cake, so I can pull it from both ends to do 2 at a time, and I got it cast on. So this is where are we at? I think it'll look good. It's very like marled, yeah. Yeah, so I got those going. I usually do a rounded toe now, but I like I didn't really want to make ones on every row, so I decided to just do that little square toe, which will be fine. So that's kind of like the main knitting I've done. I haven't really been doing much aside from that sock. Yeah, so that's kind of what's been going on with me. Just like really enjoying the weather now that it's finally like really nice out and sunny, and working on my little yarn business, which I'm going to be doing a shop update soon. So if you are interested in getting notified about that, please sign up for the newsletter. I'm going to put the link in the bio. And yeah, if you've been watching and you like it, please hit the like button. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. It really helps me out. And yeah, I'll hopefully be seeing you soon. Bye.